Hey, what's up, everybody? I guess I knew eventually this was probably coming, but let's talk about the Anti-Archie Sonic group over at Deviantart. Now, as as much as well, pretty much as a lot of you know, I am a part of the Anti-Mecha Sally group. Now, let me get one thing straight about the Anti-Mecha Sally group. I never started that. LaserX5 started it. He left it, became a member. He gave the founding thing to me. So that's basically about what happened there. Second of all, the Anti-Archie Sonic group. I don't know what they plan to accomplish. I mean, I've never joined them and I probably never will. But Anti-Archie, I mean, I can understand it's one thing to be upset with what happened to Sally, but it's another thing to be upset to the point that you want to against the comic itself, against the people that publish the comic itself. Let me kind of clear something up for you guys. Okay? Let me clear something up for you. No matter what you say or do, it's going to take millions among millions of paper like this, filled out, or millions among paper like this, sheet after sheet after sheet, to basically get Archie Comics, or at least get Sega, to say, hey, can you take the license away from Archie Comics? Look, the thing is, Archie Comics has already has had a strained relationship with Sega. Sega, Archie Comics doesn't need fans going to Sega and basically saying, hey, we're part of this anti-Archie group, we don't like what's going on, can you please take the license away? The thing is, folks, you should be proud, you should be happy there's a comic book company out there that's doing this. Do you realize what could happen if another comic book company took it? Everything you know and love about the comic could come to an end. In other words, let's say IDW Comics takes over the Sonic license. You know what could happen? Mostly all game characters. For those of us that like the comics for what they are and have been for the past 20 years almost, everything we love about it would change. There would be no original comic cast anymore that we've grown fond of. There'd be no Saturday AM cast that's been incorporated into that book and has been basically evolved throughout the years and upgraded throughout the years. There'd be none of that. So I can understand the anger the Anti-Archie Sonic group has, but come on, guys. Seriously, if you're going to be mad, but if you want to join an anti-group, that's fine. You want to create an anti-group, that's fine, but I just to me it's like, what do you want? Honestly, what do you honestly want? I can understand maybe you want things back to the way they were. That's understandable. Heck, there's a lot of people that do. But right now, it's like I said in the previous video, we have to sit and wait and see what happens. If you're gonna bash people for saying what they want to say, that's probably a little too far. Again, like I said in the previous video, a lot of people have a right to say what they want to say, but you don't have to cause people to lose it, if you will, and cause arguments with people. You don't have to do that. Look, if you really feel this way, contact Ian Flynn himself. It does work, believe it or not. And he will communicate if he finds the time. Look, there's a lot of things that a lot of people, whether they like Ian Flynn or they don't, whether they like what he's doing with the characters or they don't, they will agree that he has had his good points and he does have his bad points. He's had his hits and he's had his misses. In the eyes, there are some things like 230 that's been a hit, and some people feel 230's been a miss. Some people feel Genesis was a hit. Some people feel Genesis was a miss. Some people feel the Iron Dominion was a hit. Some people feel the Iron Dominion was a miss. So you can't basically blame other people for what's going. You can't blame the comic for what's going on. Now, there are people that say it could be your fault. The Anti-Archie Sonic group at Deviantart. It could be your fault that we got where we are now. No, I'm going to correct people on this. It's not your fault. It's not. You see, according to what Ian Flynn said, and you can even go to bumbleking.com and ask and find out yourself, and even go to his Deviantart journal. But because Sega wanted him to do something incorporating the 20th anniversary, he had to hold back on what he had originally planned. You see, his original plan for 225 was to have Sally roboticized at the end of that, not knowing how long it could be. Now, I'm pretty sure, just out of my personal opinion, I'm pretty sure he had plans for her to be restored after a few issues, and that was it. I mean, I'm pretty sure his plan for Genesis was to have her roboticized, have them go through what they did, and then have Sonic come back in time and say, "Whoa, Sally, watch it. What? You just about got roboticized deal." But I'm not totally sure because I'm not Ian Flynn. The fact is, I can understand your anger. I've been pissed off many times before. Okay? I've been pissed off about a lot of things. And I've ranted and I've raved. Heck, everybody here on YouTube would know it. But the thing is, when you say something that's anti-Archie, you're basically saying, hey, let's take food out of the people that write and publish the comic book based on Sonic out of the mouth. Or at least let's take a part of it out of the mouth or something. Basically, you're saying, hey, let's not give Archie comics anymore. Look, the thing is, like I said, Ian Flynn has had his hits and misses. Everybody's have. But there's nothing you can really do about it. You just gotta sit back and let it go. Do we like some of the things that he's doing? Heck no. There's gonna be people that are gonna be like, I don't like him doing this. I don't like him doing that. I don't like this. I don't like that. There's gonna be a lot of people like that. There are. I mean, you know, Ian Flynn is even basically, in his own way, kind of shown that he doesn't like the fact that he has to have his hands tied slightly, kind of very loosely, behind his back because of the restrictions, or limited restrictions and limitations and limited mandates that Sega has on him. I mean, you can't blame Archie Comics for that. I mean, if you want to blame anybody, blame Sega. You should, I mean, if you feel like it, you should write Sega and tell them, look, if you want this comic to help make you more money, you need to let the writers do what they have to do. And the thing is, to me, it's better that you look at Sega and say, look, you need to let up on your restrictions. You need to let up on your mandates. That's about it. So, again, as much as I can understand you guys wanting to get the comic out of Archie's grasp, or maybe you want to get rid of Ian Flynn because of this whole anti-Archie group, this whole anti-Archie Sonic comic group you guys have started, it's not much as I never thought I'd say this, it's not Archie's fault, and it's not Ian Flynn's fault. It's not Tracy Yardlin's fault. It's not Paul Klemitsky's, Mike Perithros, Victor Golik's. It's none of the faults. If you want to, talk to the Sega representatives that are listed at the end of the credits, at the in the first page of the comic. Try talking to them. Try communicating with Sega. Let them know, hey, we don't like what you're doing by mandating certain things. Certain things need to be loosened. You need to stop mandating. That's what you need to do. If you want to point your anger at somebody, don't point it at people doing their job. Don't point it at fans that are trying to say, hey, look, get your priorities straight. Get your facts straight. Like I told a certain fellow YouTuber here a couple of videos ago. You know, look at the true source. Look at Sega and say, look, you need to, and try to communicate with them. Try to open up a communication and say, look, we want you to understand and that we need you to let loose on your restrictions. That's about it. So, all I could say to the Anti-Archie Sonic group, for any of you guys watching, like I've told Sega Genesis 4100, I've told Melting Man 234, and anybody else, get your priorities straight first before you blame anybody. Yes, again, Ian Flynn has had his hits or misses. Tracy Yardlin has had his hits or misses. Paul Kaminsky has editor-in-chief, the same thing. Victor Golik, the same thing. But don't blame them for what's going on. If you want to talk to somebody, if you want to really get in the face of somebody, you really want to let somebody know how you feel, talk to Sega. That's what you do. So, that's all I'm going to say. Comment down below. I'll talk to you all later.